These 8 videos were uploaded by ordinary people, and each one caught something that still baffles viewers. Some are grainy phone clips, others are hard white CCTV frames. All were shared online as real experiences, and all remain unexplained. Watch closely. Decide for yourself. If you love real paranormal footage and careful breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. We analyze the strangest captures from around the world. A tenant in France posts a tour of his new apartment on TikTok. He's joking through the hallway when the camera pauses at the neighbor's door across the landing. A silhouette stands motionless in the doorway and does not respond when the tenant knocks. The uploader says building management has no record of that occupant. Later, the same account shows another clip from inside the apartment. A shadowy figure appears in the open doorway behind the kitchen counter, and the figure leans forward with its head pressed to the countertop as if scratching or banging. The sound in the clip is muffled, but viewers can hear a dull thump. In a separate clip, the tenant films his own front door. Deep, long scratches are visible near the handle, and the door slams closed on its own while the camera still records. The uploader posts multiple short videos, each one framed as a new piece of the puzzle. Some commenters call it a staged prank, others suggest something far darker. The tenant says he reported the damage and later posted that he now sleeps elsewhere, but there's no definitive follow-up on the account. So, a neighbor who doesn't exist on paper, unexplained physical marks, and a door that moves without anyone touching it. What would you want to check first if this happened to you? But that wasn't the only home that reacted to being filmed. Watch number 2. A carpenter named Corey, sharing footage on a personal channel, documents escalating disturbance in his basement. He's alone at home when the microphone picks up a shrill, childlike scream and a string of low, disembodied laughter. Corey records sound for several minutes, then places a pillow and a cushion on the basement floor to test whether something is moving them. Later, he shows the same area, and the pillow is shifted, the cushion is displaced, and a nearby blanket is rumpled as if someone unseen walked through. His dog is caught on camera staring at a blank corner, whimpering and refusing to enter the room. Corey installs 2 cameras. One records for a few hours, and then inexplicably goes blank. No footage, no timestamp during the downtime, while the other camera resumes and captures what many viewers hear as a soft, mocking laugh layered over the ambient hum of the house. Corey tells his followers that he and his wife decided to leave the house temporarily while they consider what to do next. Viewers debate whether the blanked camera is a sign of tampering or an equipment fault, and whether the laughter is sound edited in after the fact.
The uploader insists nothing was manipulated in post. The footage remains, and the family's decision to evacuate adds weight to their fear. When cameras seem to fail at the worst possible moment, how much does that sway your belief in what's left on the recordings? If a workplace can hold secrets, the next clip proves it. Keep watching. An early morning worker in Pakistan shares a short CCTV clip showing a quiet office with one person seated in the dim lobby. The man appears to be talking to someone who isn't there. The camera angle shows his hands moving as if holding an invisible conversation partner. Suddenly, a small stack of papers slides off a nearby counter and drops to the floor without any visible breeze or human contact. The uploader panics on camera at the end and says they left immediately. In a follow-up post, other employees claim they've felt cold spots in the same room and have seen objects move when the building is mostly empty. Local viewers on the post suggest everything from an elaborate prank to a cultural ritual. Others point out the possibility of an optical effect or loose shelving. The recording itself is short and matter-of-fact. A man speaking to nothing, an object moving. The person who uploaded the clip asks viewers whether the seated figure was addressing a real person, someone in prayer, or something else entirely. The question lingers: what would you do if you were the overnight worker who walked into that empty office? Keep your eyes peeled. The next one wasn't obvious at first glance. A creator revisits old footage from 2022, a family gathering filmed years earlier with no apparent incident, and notices something new on playback. In the frame near a staircase, a shape arcs past the banister for a split second, walking behind the stairs where no one recalled anyone standing at the time. The movement is subtle, a blur that could be a trick of light or the camera's shutter catching a passing shadow. The uploader slows the clip, zooms in, and isolates the frame where the figure appears to be mid-step. They post the discovery months or years after the original recording, saying they had never noticed it until a recent review of archived videos. Commenters are split. Some call it pareidolia, the brain finding patterns where none exist, while others point out that the footage shows consistent motion through several frames, not a single glitch. The creator admits there's no corroborating testimony from anyone at that event. No one recalls seeing a person near the stairs that day. The belated discovery raises a strange possibility. Do some moments only reveal themselves after we look again? And if so, what else might be hiding in our old recordings? The pattern of repeated, unresolved incidents continues with a channel that uploaded only once. A YouTube channel titled Real Paranormal Activity hosts a single video from a woman claiming she's been dealing with reoccurring disturbances at home.
The CCTV clip from the same time frame shows Oliver alone. There is no child in the frame. The security feed then captures the fan powering down by itself. The hotel's maintenance team later tells Oliver the fan checked out mechanically and that the wiring showed no fault. The uploader calls out the contradiction. His eyes saw one thing, the recorded security footage shows another. Viewers recommend thorough technical checks, wiring inspections, and interviews with other staff. Rule-outs help, but the footage remains puzzling because two reliable sources, a staff member's direct sighting and the CCTV record, do not show the same presence. If a discrepancy appears between what you remember seeing and what a camera recorded, do you trust the camera or your memory? Finally, a public service office captures something that unsettles staff deeply. Monica, who works as an investigator at a social service office, shares a recording of a workday that turns frightening. She posts a clip showing an empty room where, inexplicably, a small toy xylophone begins to play itself. A deliberate series of notes, not random clatters. At the same time, running footsteps are audible from the floor above, while the office alarm remains armed, meaning there should be no authorized foot traffic. Later in the day, staff record a low, moaning groan coming through the building's ducts. The uploader breaks down on camera, saying she felt overwhelmed and terrified by the sequence of events. Monica also mentions that several colleagues reported similar disturbances on different days. Lights flickering, objects misplaced, and footprints appearing in dust where no one had been. Management, she says, conducted a basic security check but found nothing obvious. In her post, Monica asks viewers whether they would call a technician, a spiritual advisor, or the police, and whether the toy could have been triggered remotely. Viewers react with empathy and concern, noting that institutional settings like offices and shelters can be emotionally vulnerable places. When multiple staff members independently notice the same phenomenon, how should organizations balance safety checks with respect for employees' experiences? Across these 8 clips, some patterns emerge. Many of the recordings are domestic or workplace settings, places where people should feel safe. Pets recur as witnesses. Dogs staring at corners, animals refusing to enter rooms, or pets reacting to sounds humans don't initially perceive. Security cameras and phone footage are central. In a few cases, playback reveals things the human eye missed, or the camera shows something different from what a witness remembers. Several uploaders report physical effects. Scratches, moving furniture, door slamming, and human responses range from fleeing the property to installing extra cameras or simply staying awake all night to try to catch the phenomenon in the act. And yet, a tension runs through every clip. Some viewers point to possible hoaxes, camera glitches, or misinterpretations. Others find the convergence of audio and physical movement, a mimicked voice followed by a heavy cabinet tipping, or laughter recorded while one camera blanks out, harder to dismiss. The strongest moments in these videos aren't raw jump scares, they're the small, domestic details that imply presence. A pillow moved as if someone walked past, a fan switching off when no child appears, a neighbor's silhouette that management doesn't recognize. Those details stick with you. Which of these 8 feels most convincing to you? Was it the tenant in France with the mysterious neighbor and the scratches on the door? Corey's basement where cameras blank and laughter remains on the tape? The Pakistan office where a man seems to speak with thin air and papers slide off a counter? The hidden figure discovered in old 2022 footage? The woman who uploaded one video and then vanished from the platform? Morgan's mimic that allegedly reproduced her husband's voice before a heavy cabinet fell? Oliver's hotel sighting where the security feed and his own memory don't match? Or Monica's social service office with a toy xylophone playing while the alarm was armed? Tell us which clip you find most persuasive and why. If you think you've got footage that belongs in a countdown like this, we'd like to see it. Send your clips to Don't Miss the Video with a brief description and the date it was recorded. Include your platform handle and a note on whether you gave permission to share publicly. And before you go, like this video if you want more careful breakdowns, subscribe for new uploads, and comment below which of these 8 unsettled you most. We'll leave you with one last thought. Cameras keep finding what our memories sometimes miss, and ordinary rooms are often where the unexplained appears. Whether you call these moments equipment error, misperception, prank, or something else, they were all shared as real by the people who recorded them, and that alone makes them worth watching. Which one will you replay first?